Okay, so this is a video for Objective 37. Objective 37 has to do with solving a problem involving simple interest. Um, so again, this is in your money textbook. So if you don't have that, hit pause, go grab that. We're on page 71 in the money textbook. Um, first of all, um, Objective 37, solving simple interest problem. What a simple interest is one way to figure out how much you earn or that you owe back, whether you're either saving money or borrowing money. And we'll look at something else called compound interest in the next objective, but this is for simple interest. This is going to be your main formula. What these letters mean is I stands for the amount of interest, and what that means is either the amount of extra money that you're going to owe when you borrow money or the amount of extra money you make if you invest money. The P is for principal. That is the amount that you either invest, like put into a savings account or into stocks or some sort of investment, or it can be the amount you borrow. So if you take out a loan, that's the amount you would borrow. Principal is that is called. R is your interest rate. That is going to be written as a decimal. So we will look at some examples of that in a second, but that always has to be written as a decimal. And T stands for time, which is always going to be in years. And we will look at what you need to do if that is not in years and how you adjust that. We have done this a little bit this year. These problems are probably going to be maybe even a little easier than some of the ones we did before, because I think right now they will all be in years and not partial years or not months. So this will kind of be maybe a little easier than before, but there'll also be some other type of questions involved also. So it'll be a little different. Easier in one way, maybe a little different in another way. So let's start looking at some problems here, and I think it's just 6 problems, just this one page. So number 1, it says how much interest will be earned with an investment of $2,300 at 5% simple interest for a period of 3 years. So first of all, the question is how much interest. So we're just looking for I. Okay. So this is I start out with the formula and I just fill in what I know. I don't know the I, so that stays there. The amount that you're investing is $2,300. That is the principal. Rate is 5%. As you can see here, though, we move that over to the left twice because 5% as a decimal is 0.05. So that's something we've done before. If we've got 5%, you go 1, 2, open spot goes to 0, 5%, and then T right here is 3 years. So we put that in there. And then all you do is multiply those 3. Okay? And so you type in your calculator 2,300 times 0.05 times 3, and you get $345. So that's the amount of interest. Okay, number 2 is just a little bit different. It says, what will the total value of the principal plus interest if $6,400 is invested at 3% simple interest for a period of 5 years? So it's basically the same problem, but one little extra thing. Down in this box, I put what you do if it asks for total value. Okay, so all you do is you do the same problem. You figure out your I, or which is from above PRT. Then when you find that, you just add the principal back to it. Okay, so number 2 here, the principal, okay, is right here. 6,400. And we're going to add that to the interest we find. The way we find interest is we take the principal times the rate, which is 3%, so we move that to 0.03 times the time. Okay, so we remember order operations, we multiply these three first. That gets you $960. Then we add on the original investment of 6,400, and we get our answer of 7,360. Okay. All right, number 3 starts off with a little different type of problem. It's not asking for the interest. It's asking how long would it take an investment of $25,000 at 6% simple interest to earn $4,500 in interest. So you still plug in what you know, but the difference here is it asks how long, meaning we're looking for how many years. So we're looking for 25 when 25,000 is put in, so that's the principal still, so that still goes in the spot of P, at a rate of 6%. Okay, we don't know the time because that's what we're asking, is how long, but the other number we do know is it says to earn $4,500 in interest, so that is our I. Okay, so when they give you the amount of interest and you have to find one of the other three things on the other side, what you do is you take what you know on the right side and multiply them. So we're going to take 25,000 times 0.06, and that came out to be 1,500. Okay, so this was the next step over here. So we leave the 4,500, 25,000 times 0.06 is 1,500, and then we still have times t. Okay, some people might be able to look at that and figure out the answer. Otherwise, this is just a one-step algebra problem. Okay, you work in reverse. So if we have 1,500 times t equals 4,500, we do the opposite of what's being done to that unknown variable. So here, whatever's being multiplied by this, we divide each side by it. So we divide by 1,500 on this side, and whatever you do, you have to do it on the other side. So when we divide here, these cancel out, and you're left with just the t on this side. 4,500 divided by 1,500 is 3. So your answer is it'll take 3 years to do that. Okay. Number 4, it's a very similar problem, except they're just asking for a different thing. Instead of asking for time, they're going to be asking for principal. So it says to the nearest dollar, how much would have to be invested? So that's principal. We don't know. To earn $125 in interest. So they're telling us $125 is what we want to earn in interest in 3 years at 3% simple interest. So in 3 years at 3% simple interest. So move that 3 to a 0.03. Now, even though a different letter is missing, we follow the same steps. We keep the 125 here on this side. We take the two numbers we know and multiply them. So 0.03 times 3 gives you 0.09. And now I just put this p on the end of it. So 0.09 times some p, some principal, we want to equal $125. So now you do the same thing we did in the last problem. Whatever that letter is being multiplied by, we divide both sides by it. So 0.09 divided by 0.09 will cancel out, and we're left with just p here. And then we divide 125 divided by 0.09, and it gives us $1,388.88. Continuing, but the question said to the nearest dollar, so we're just going to round that up to 1,389. Okay. So, 2 more problems left. Number 5 says an investment of $17,000 has a total value of $20,536 at the end of 4 years. What is the yearly simple interest rate? So this kind of has a couple things going on. This is a little bit harder than one we've seen earlier in the year. We still want to, we're missing the interest rate, so we're missing an R, and we still want to use this formula. But they're not giving us the I. Okay, so they gave us 4 years. So you can see I put that here, that's their T. Okay, they said an investment of $17,000, which is their principal. Okay, and we don't know the R, that's our question mark. And now over here should be our I. And the way I got that is they didn't tell us what it was, but if we put 17,000 in, and at the end we have 20,536, if we subtract those two, so 20,536 minus 17,000 gives us the $3,536. So that's how much was earned in this investment in that time. So that is the interest. So that goes here for I. 17,000 was the amount invested, that's P. We're looking for the interest rate, which is R, and T is the time. So again, you follow the same steps. Take the two numbers on the side of the unknown letter. So we're looking for R. Take these two numbers and multiply them. So we keep the 3,536 over here. We take 17,000 times 4, gives us 68,000, and it's still times R. Okay. Now again, just like the last two problems, whatever that letter is being multiplied by, we divide. And we do that on both sides. So the R is being multiplied by 68,000. So we're going to divide by 68,000 here, but we also divide by 68,000 over there. These will cancel out. When you divide these, it's just kind of a big number divided by a lot bigger number. It's going to give you a decimal. So when you divide this, it's going to give you 0.052 equals R. And that is the decimal version. So what we have to do to get the actual rate is go 1, 2, and that's 5.2% is our rate. Okay, so that's probably the most involved or the hardest problem of this group. Number 6 just kind of goes back to what number 1 was. This is how much interest will be earned. So it's asking for interest, so asking for I. If you have an investment of $12,750 at 5% simple interest for a period of 8 years. Okay, so the principal was $12,750, the rate 5%, we move that to 0.05, the time was 8 years. Okay, we just multiply all three, and the interest they're looking for is 5,100. Okay. In this objective, they're not going to give you any time that is just in months, but remember, if you ever did see that, or when we looked at things in the past, you would just divide the months divided by 12, because there's 12 months in a year. So if it said 30, or 30 months, you would take 30 divided by 12 to get the years. So that's objective 37. After watching this video, you should be turning to your workbook, which looks like this. Objective 30, practice 3738 starts here with objective 37. Again, you don't have to do all these problems, just do as many as it takes to understand. There's 12 in objective 37 here. Answers here. Okay. Do as many practices as you need to. Make sure you have at least one of each type, and then you can move on to objective 38. I'll talk about this again when you get to objective 38, but in the book it goes objective 37, and then I inserted a couple objectives from a different book that talks about what we're going to be talking about. So you'll actually turn a few pages here before we get to objective 38. But I will talk about that in the next video as well. Okay, so again, objective 37. If you have any questions, let me know.